What is up, YouTube? BW368 coming at you with a deck profile update as well as, or should I say, a deck performance update as well as another discussion on Mystic Mine. Um, Obviously, with the update, it's going to be on my Ritual Beasts. They performed fairly decently at my locals this past Wednesday. Round one, I lost to Thunder Dragons, which unfortunately for me, that is a very hard matchup for me to be able to do anything about. Round two, I lost to Salamangreats, but that was because of time. We were in game three, and my opponent just opened with Raigeki Dark Hole. Must be nice. I mean, it is what it is. You got lucky. He opened up with 2 cards plus going into time. So, unfortunately, he summoned 2 monsters, and I can't do anything because we were literally both at 8,000 when they called time. So, unfortunately, it is what it is. Game 3, round 3 I went into was with against Salamangreats again. My deck has, from what I've noticed, a very easy matchup against Salamangreats because, again, everything revolves around the graveyard. And with all the hand traps such as Ash Blossom, Call by the Grave, running Macrocosmos as D-Fissure, automatically sets up my opponent from not being able to do anything, especially Salamangreats, because they summon Balinks. Balinks automatically gets removed. They try and put Spinny in the graveyard. Or they summon Gazelle, activate effect. It's like, activate Macrocosmos. What's up? Done? That's it? Okay, cool. My turn. I can just keep on going about my plays. So, overall, again, the deck is a very good, at least, rogue option for this format, which is why, again, I believe I will be taking my Ritual Beasts to the Philly Regional coming next weekend. The one card I am thinking about incorporating into my deck is Mystic Mine, which is going to bring us into our next topic for this video. Mystic Mine, as you all know, is kind of a degenerate card for what it is. But what makes it degenerate? Is it the card itself, or is it the decks that it gets played in? And I think that's where it gets the most hate from the Yu-Gi-Oh community, is because most of the decks that it's played in, unfortunately, are mostly troll decks, such as Burn and or Exodia or other decks that don't really take much skill, if you know what I'm saying. Because it's like, okay, activate a bunch of Reckless Greets and everything else. All you're doing is drawing cards and setting cards. Whoop-de-doo. Or burn decks. Activate a bunch of cards, give you a bunch of tokens, activate burn effects. Blah, blah, blah. Overall, I mean, I think it's honestly just the decks that it's playing as. Whereas, think of it for perfect example, Ritual Beast. This is the exact same reason I was running evenly matched in my main deck instead of, I think I had there can only be one in my main deck. I took that out and decided to put an evenly matched. Because, again, with Ritual Beasts, you have the power of monster count manipulation, whereas for most other decks, you have to kind of waste a Link Summon or something to be able to do that. Ritual Beasts have the ability to recur easily from your banished zone and get out new monsters and everything else without wasting resources, which is the nice recyclability that Ritual Beasts has. And the other main reason that I'm thinking of running Mystic Mine within my deck as well is because we all know that, again, if you are familiar with Ritual Beasts, you know at this point they have a very big consistency issue. If you open up Elder Cannahawk, awesome, cool. Unfortunately, I think out of all the hands that I saw on Wednesday, I think maybe I would put the ratio probably at like every 2 and 5 hands. I would maybe see something. If I'm going second, maybe I draw into that Cannahawk or Elder. But again, it's a very big consistency issue that the deck has. Hence why I'm thinking of playing Mystic Mine. Now I just need to figure out the ratios. Am I going to be playing 3 Mystic Mine, 2 Metaverse? Do I want to maybe throw in 1, 2 Lilith just in case? I'm still figuring out. But I think it's a very good option for the Ritual Beast deck and for anybody else's Ritual Beast deck. I think has a good option. The other main reason I'm thinking about doing it is because I have easy survivability, I would say, for the deck as well. Because think of it this way: your opponent, you already have Mystic Mine up on the field. Your opponent's trying to do whatever, blah blah blah. He tries to end a turn with 1 monster, and let's just say for the example, you only have Aldi Cannahawk on the field. Your opponent couldn't do anything. You both have one monster. He tries to have one monster on field, activate effect, whatever. Tries to end the turn with just one monster while you also have one monster. And when he tries to go from main phase 2 to end phase, you can at this point activate Alti Hawk, tag out monster, bring out 2, so you have 2, he has 1. And if your opponent can't do anything else at that point, you can technically end with keeping Mystic Mine on the field and having it survive. So that is one thing you can do for this deck. Again, it's the same thing for example, Evenly Matched. Again, if I am wrong in this interpretation of the cards, let me know in the comments below. But this is just how I'm understanding it. Let's say, for example, you have Alti Hawk with Evenly Matched face down. Activate Alti Hawk's effect. Return it to the deck to return 2 cards from your banish zone. Pass to your opponent if he has any chains or anything he wants to activate. Let's say he has nothing. Cool. Chain Evenly Matched. Now, I believe technically, since there is no other monster on the field, you already tagged out as cost, and then when you activate Evenly Matched, technically your opponent's only able to save 1 card on their field because of Evenly Matched. Everything else has to get banished. Chain resolves backward. Evenly Matched resolves. Your opponent banishes all but 1 card, and then you bring out your 2 monsters from your banish zone. This is the exact same reason why I'm thinking of playing Mystic Mine as well, because this is also a play that can be done in order to save Mystic Mine, or if I feel I'm in a good enough spot that my opponent cannot do anything to get around this board, I would just, again, leave the monster count as it is, let it blow itself up in the end phase, and then activate all my effects to be able to go off Swarm Field, do whatever I need to do. If I'm completely ready at that point, I feel my opponent cannot do anything. But that's like the main reason I'm thinking of running Mystic Mine with this deck. Is the fact of it allows me to set up to go for big damage from monster plays over, activating stupid spell trap cards in order to do burn damage or draw a bunch of cards because the setup's already there and whatnot. It is a stall card that is a little bit overpowered. But I think the main thing that most people are angry with, for me, definitely the card I'm kind of annoyed with the card, is that it's used in burn in Exodia decks that make a deck that makes decks that basically require no skill whatsoever to actually have a standing within the Yu-Gi-Oh! Top tournaments and whatnot. I think that's the main thing that people are upset with. But I'm hoping at least with this, we will see how the deck runs in the Philadelphia Regional. Let me know what you guys think. Should I run the Mystic Mine inside Ritual Beast? Should I just leave it alone, try and find something else? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But until then, this is B368. Sign out.